Welcome back to Just Vlog, where we talk about the good and the bad of life in Ghana. Have y'all had a chance to see my recent video that I just dropped? If not, it will be right above. Go ahead and click on it and take a look. We had a conversation about the rising cost of rent here in Ghana, and not only rent, but house and land sales as well. Looking over the comments, I seen someone make a comment, and it sparked me to create this video because I felt like that comment needed more emphasis. And I didn't really stress this enough. So today we're getting into this comment and we're having a deeper discussion. It's time we stop running from these very uncomfortable conversations and start sitting down and start talking about some of these issues that's happening so that we can have a solution. Don't go anywhere because we're jumping into conversation right after this. Back to search the comments because I wanted to point out this comment specifically, but I couldn't find it, so I'm not sure if it was here on YouTube or if it was on TikTok or if it was a video somebody shared to me. I don't know, but I do remember seeing a comment speaking about the fact that even Ghanians living here cannot afford the cost of living. This is a very important part of the conversation that I wanted to speak more about, but in the height of the moment, because I'm so passionate about this topic, it completely slipped my mind to focus on that fact and that aspect of the conversation. So thank you for that comment, whoever you are. I feel that it was even multiple comments like that. I don't know, but needless to say, whoever left comments such as that, thank you. I appreciate your feedback, and I do look at comments. Just recently, my husband and I were out somewhere just having a great time, and we got into conversation, just him and I, about the amount of money that the average Ghanaian makes. And I knew that it was pretty low, but I did not know that it was so low. I almost couldn't believe it. I was like, there is no way. There is no way. So we decided we were gonna pull someone in on the conversation who was actually living this exact issue in that moment. She happened to be a waiter for the location that we were sitting at. So we called her over and my husband just politely asked her, we were having this conversation and we want to get your feedback. How much do you actually make a month here in Ghana being a waiter? And she said, and are y'all ready for this? She said that she makes 400 CDs a month. That is 26, or if you want to round it off, $27 a month. And that is average salary across the board. Some make a little bit more, maybe closer to $30 a month, maybe even $50 a month. The high end, 100 plus a month. So you see why this is a very critical conversation to be had, because Ghanaians are here making so much less and the cost of living is so much more higher. So when you're factoring in the cost of rent or house sales or property sales and the fact that they're charging in US dollars and the prices that they are asking for is out of this world when you compare it to the amount of money that the average Ghanaian is even making. How could they ever afford to live in a house that's quoted at 2,300 US dollars, even 1,000 US dollars? So in having this conversation, we have left out the most important part, which is the local people who are even here struggling way more than even me or someone else that is coming here from the diaspora. And they need to be considered first and foremost. And I'm sorry if I didn't point this fact out in my first video and make it very clear that they should be the ones that we even look at, even before we look at ourselves. Because we may be coming with resources from other places, but they are here living in this economy and have been struggling in this economy way before we came along with our US dollars. I mean, it's a beautiful thing if you were born here and you were able to travel abroad and kind of make some other currency for yourself and bring it back to Ghana and invest. That's amazing. But it's not right for those who actually have been living here, who have not had those same opportunities, and yet they are left out of the development of Ghana because they cannot afford it. Who can afford a $2,300 a month rent when they are making $30 a month? Oftentimes, I even ask myself, how are they even able to survive? When you think about transportation to get back and forth to work for the month, when you think about food that you need to eat for the month, when you think about the basic necessities that you need to purchase for yourself on a daily basis, such as lotions and deodorants and toothpaste and all of that stuff, how do you survive off of $30 a month? So this conversation about the crazy prices of rent and land sales and property sales here in Ghana is not just reserved for us, but it is reserved for the locals as well, because they too are suffering. And guess what? They are suffering way more than we are. And most oftentimes, they suffer in silence. There were some comments that also suggested, well, instead of renting, how about you just purchase? Well, that might not be in the budget for everyone coming here. So when you're coming from the US and you're transitioning here to Ghana and you're working with a certain amount, because you're literally taking what you have and you're leaving. So you have to work within your budget. And if it's not within your budget to purchase a house or purchase land and start building right away, then you have to settle for renting, which many people do, making that transition from the US to Ghana because they are trying to figure things out. They may be coming to Ghana for the maybe second or third time, and they're still trying to decide even what part of Ghana they would like to settle in. So with that being said, how can you just even jump into buying land or a house when you're still trying to even contemplate what part of the region you want to be in? So with that being said, oftentimes than not, you have no choice but to rent while you figure things out at the same time. So when you come here and you have to pay in US dollars, by the time you look up, you realize that your money is low. And now what are you going to do? Because maybe you have a plan in mind now. Maybe you know exactly where you want to relocate or where you want to purchase that land. But now your finances are looking a little different because not only have you spent a crazy amount renting, but you have also spent so much money just to be able to sustain yourself here in Ghana. So it's easy to make comments like, just buy. But that's not always reality for everyone. For those who can come here and do that, have been very fortunate. But for those that are not able to do that immediately, they too are the ones that are suffering in this US dollar economy in Ghana. In this situation, locals are being pushed out of the picture altogether because they are struggling to even make ends meet. Due to the migration of so many diasporas moving into the economy of Ghana, it is causing this surge of rent prices and or property sales and land sales. And I blame us coming into this economy that is supporting that, because we are even contributing to this US dollar economy in Ghana. And making comments like, go find somewhere else to reside outside of Ghana, is not solving the problem. And it's not hurting me. It's not hurting we diasporans that are coming here that even are speaking out and being vocal about this topic. But it is ultimately going to hurt the economy of Ghana, because generations to come, they will even be the ones to suffer when we diasporans decide to take our wealth, our knowledge, and the many resources that we have that we're bringing here to Ghana to help the development of Ghana. If we decide to take that and go elsewhere because we are finding better treatment, it's not going to be us that's going to be affected by that. So I think we should put those ignorant thoughts and conversations to the side and think realistic here and address the situation that is at hand, instead of trying to negate from the fact that the rising cost here in terms of rent and land and property sales is just not feasible. Having a U.S. economy in Ghana is just not feasible. And for anyone who is in support of that, it is because they are the main ones that is a contributing factor and or benefiting from such atrocities. So if you're sitting back and you're enjoying, but while others are suffering, then of course you wouldn't want to see it go away, because that means less money in your pocket. And all money ain't good money, because the way this universe works, what goes around comes around. So while you may be nice and fat today, you may be chewing your fingers tomorrow. You have to be very careful how you treat people. And I know that this is an issue that has been happening here for a very, very long time. It's not like it just begun with us. It is something that a lot of locals have been complaining about before it has even gotten to this point. And it's fallen on deaf ears, because yet and still in 2025, here we find ourselves having the same topic of conversation. there has been no change. And I would like to know, why is that? We can blame the politicians, we can blame the president, we can point the finger and blame so many people. But at the end of the day, we also have to point the finger at ourselves and blame ourselves. When we don't stand up and speak up about these topics and we just accept it for what it is, when we don't vocalize that this is not right, something needs to change, and the CD needs to be used in Ghana, not the US dollar. But when your response is, oh, this has been happening for so long, but you didn't say anything about it, you too have been a contributing factor in the matter because you didn't speak up, you didn't speak out, and you didn't demand a change. And for those of us that are coming here who also are not speaking up and speaking out about the situation, but just saying, oh, well, this is it, this is Ghana, and I'm going to accept it, there will never be a change, but things will only get worse. Creating this video, I'm not suggesting that everybody stop coming to Ghana or even be fearful of coming to Ghana or even fearful of investing. I'm speaking out about this topic because it is a situation that needs to change for the betterment of the economy of Ghana, as well as to support the locals that are also living here. Because if things don't change, the results of that will fall upon Ghana. Because eventually, as other countries are also coming up and they have more affordable options and they have better stories of people coming and being able to settle successfully, they are happy, healthy, and content. They're not getting ripped off, scammed, or being charged a US dollar in their economy. People are going to flock to those areas. And guess what's going to happen here in Ghana? You guessed it, it means less and less people will start coming here. So while Ghana is flourishing and thriving right now, yes, let's keep that momentum going. So let's do something about these challenges that people are speaking up and being vocal about so that we can continue to see that fluctuation happen in Ghana. But if we aren't careful here in Ghana, it will be the complete opposite. So when I speak up about these things, it's because I see a major issue and I see the results of what that issue will bring in the future to come. I don't speak out about these topics to try to bring Ghana down or try to destroy the image of Ghana. I'm speaking about real events, factual circumstances that are happening here that attention is required immediately. Because I'm telling you, if it's not addressed, in the long run, many people here are going to lose because of it. While they feel like they're gaining now, yes, that may be the case, but in the long run, there will be a complete loss. So continue to be arrogant in your ways. Continue to sit back and be great and eat healthy and have an amazing life. But let's see where that gets you in a few years to come. I think that's the side of the story that a lot of people who are contributing to this aren't thinking about. Or maybe they don't care because maybe in this moment, their families, along with them, are not included in this conversation because they are the ones who are benefiting from it. But that's just my little word of advice. You don't have to take it. That's it for today's video. Drop a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. Also, I have an Amazon store. The affiliate link will be in the description box down below. If you're considering shopping, if you have a birthday coming up, even with the Easter holiday fastly approaching, if you're celebrating, you're going to be shopping anyway, consider shopping on my Amazon store. All support is greatly appreciated, and I thank you in advance. If you're new here to the channel, stay a while. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to share this content. My name is Melody, and I will see y'all on the next video.